Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Greatly appreciate it. If you're new here, consider hitting the thumbs up. Would greatly appreciate it. Maybe even consider subscribing. Appreciate your time and checking out today's video. So today I'm going to do my best to convince you that these 5 bourbons are maybe the best bourbons to start building your whiskey collection with without being too much of a hunter out there. So stick with me on that. We're going to get into that here on the My Bourbon Journey Whiskey Review channel. All right, so here we are starting with the Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond as one of my 5 bourbons that if you're going to start building a bourbon collection and kind of going down all these different rabbit holes and maybe avoid kind of doing all of the chasing and hunting and secondary, if you start with these 5, now again, I'm going to preface by saying these aren't necessarily beginner whiskeys in terms of proof, but I think these are going to be 5 bourbons that will give you an idea of what profiles you're going to maybe enjoy or ultimately what it is you're going to enjoy. And I think starting with these 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 of these, maybe they will all fit or fall into the category, of that for you. But I wanted to kind of give an idea of, let's start with a base. And again, for me, I find myself with the Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond, first, it being readily available, 40, 45 bucks. Oftentimes you'll see it just about everywhere. It is a bourbon that is so tried and true, has great flavors to it. And it gives you an idea of if it's going to be something that you enjoy, maybe from an oak standpoint, that heavier, darker, richer profile, will that be something that you enjoy? But again, it's something that I wanted to have on here because I feel like it's a good representation of something that, knowing and tasting an awful lot of bourbons throughout the years, that this would be something I think an awful lot of people would truly enjoy. And it's why I wanted to start off here with the Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond. All right, so we're sticking with very tried and true stuff here. This is going to be bourbons, first and foremost, that are going to be, generally speaking, readily available. Now, with the Four Roses single barrel specifically, they are readily available. Oftentimes at $40, $45, maybe they'll get up to about 50 bucks on occasion. But again, if I'm starting a whiskey collection, a bourbon collection, whatever you want to refer to it as, this now has become something that's even more exciting, a little bit more intriguing, that they've started to change or offer up a few more different recipes, meaning they are offering something that is utilizing different yeast strains. So it's going to change the profiles. Now, if you're beginning your bourbon journey, it's going to be one of those things where you can test and try some of these different yeast strains, different recipes, to kind of dial it into something that works for your palate. So generically speaking, the Four Roses single barrel to me is a bourbon that I think just about everybody should have kind of in that rotation. And again, it's why it's one of the bottles that I've got here in my top 5 for if I'm building a bourbon collection. This is one of the bottles that I want to have in there. All right, so here we are, Russell's Reserve single barrel. Now, this is going to be, again, obviously Wild Turkey Distillery is where this is coming from. And if you are able to find the Russell's Reserve single barrels, this is a really good, in my opinion, I think true representation oftentimes of what you can kind of expect from Wild Turkey. And again, they are for the most part readily available, anywhere from maybe that 50 to upwards of 65 bucks. Again, depending on the state that you're in. But what I really wanted to do was get something from, again, a little bit of a different distillery, obviously big, large, heritage brand in Wild Turkey, but it offers up such a tremendous flavor profile that, if you're building a collection, this is a bottle that I would have always within that. Start with these 5 and you really can't go wrong. And that's why I have the Russell's Reserve single barrel as one of my 5 bottles that if you're starting or building a bourbon collection, this is one of them that has to be in there. I think it gives you a really true representation of, again, what Wild Turkey is producing And with the proofs, it will offer or allow you to kind of, if you want to add water, if it's too proofy to any of these, you can do so. But again, as a core lineup of where I'm going to start, this is definitely going to be one of those bottles that's in my top 5. All right, so you can see a theme here. We have stuck with large heritage brands, and that is because if you are starting or building your bourbon collection or whiskey collection, you need to have some bottles that you can go to a liquor store and find almost 100% of the time. Now, this is one, the Knob Creek 9-year, again, from Jim Beam. Man, tried and true, incredible flavor profile, maybe 40, 45 bucks. It just offers up, again, I think to me, that tried and true bourbon-esque kind of profile. Now, it can at times have a little bit of a nutty characteristic, which Jim Beam is kind of known for a little bit. But in my experience, Knob Creek has less of that than a lot of the other bourbons within kind of that lineup, that portfolio, whatever you want to refer to it as. So if I'm referring or if I'm trying to suggest a bottle of something from Jim Beam, oftentimes the Knob Creek is where I would say, hey, start there, start with the Knob Creek 9 and kind of expand from there. Try some of their more expensive things, just different things in general, I guess I should say. So, because there are an awful lot of them, but again, Knob Creek 9-year, readily available, 40, 45 bucks oftentimes. You can find it, just about everywhere. And it's why if I was, again, building a bourbon collection nowadays, this would be one of the bottles that I would have within that 5. All right, so here we are. Last but definitely not least, Green River. This is their full proof. They've got a few. They got, just their standard bourbon, a wheater, things along those lines. So this gives you an idea of what the Green River profile can be. And if I'm starting somewhere, this maybe is, I don't want to say maybe the most approachable, but it may be from the standpoint of the profile that it offers. It is a little bit on the sweeter side. They have become a little bit more known for this kind of slate cherry or Luxardo cherry kind of note within their bourbons, but they've become far more readily available here over the past year or two. So this should be something that you can go to just about any liquor store and find, if not the full proof, something from Green River. And to try to suggest to somebody again, a very tried and true bourbon, man, the Green River Full Proof is one of those things that you want to encourage people to have within that lineup. That's why I've got this, in here as one of the 5 bourbons that if I'm going to start or build a bourbon collection to truly understand what some of these profiles from each distillery is, this would be one that I'd want within that kind of core lineup. So there you go. There's the Green River Full Proof. And again, if that doesn't work, find something within that Green River profile or portfolio that would maybe work for you. But I wanted to suggest the Full Proof here for you guys today. All right, so a little bonus for you guys, or honorable mention, I wanted to throw a wheater in here. And as the Maker's Cask Strength goes, I mean, it doesn't get much more tried and true from a wheated bourbon standpoint than the Maker's Cask Strength. Again, for the most part, it's an older bottling. But the idea behind it was to try a cask strength wheated bourbon. Again, it's going to be something that you can find just about everywhere for the most part. Should be pretty, price friendly for the most part. But again, it's a bottle that if you're going to introduce a wheated bourbon to someone, this is maybe a good place to start, giving people an idea of what you can expect from a wheated bourbon. And that's why I had the Maker's Cask Strength in here as at least an honorable mention, just to introduce also a wheated bourbon within the other 5 that I had. So there you have it, the Maker's Cask Strength as our honorable mention. Now let me hear from you. Let me know what your 5 bourbons would be. If you're building a whiskey or bourbon collection and you are going to start with 5 bottles, what would your 5 be? Would love to hear from you guys. This is an interesting part of this here, is each person's going to have maybe a different opinion, switching out or swapping out a bottle or 2 of things, but I'd love to hear back from you guys on that as well. So thanks again for tuning in today. Greatly appreciate it. If you'd like to follow me, You can on Facebook and Instagram, those places at My Bourbon Journey. If you'd like to become part of the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club, where you can have some amazing single barrels delivered directly to your door, make sure you check out that Patreon link in the description below. That down there with a lot of other great things for you as well. So with all that being said, thanks again, guys, for taking a few minutes of your time and checking out the video. Hope to see you guys in the next video. With all that being said, cheers. We'll see you guys in the next video.